when I came here on my interview, I sat down with Tony in the big offensive staff room, kind of explained to him my offensive ideology, what I'd like to do. He fired away a million questions. I answered them truthfully, told him that certain things that I think that I could have done a better job of. Gave him a little bit of a plan. At the end of the day, you gotta adapt to your players, and we've been trying to do that this training camp.
How much of a priority was it for you to get Chad to realize that he has the freedom that he apparently has right now?
Well, that's part of the offensive system. You sit in the quarterback room every morning, and there's a certain checklist that you want to go through on each and every play. I wish I called all good plays. Sometimes that doesn't happen, and he's out there. He has the freedom to look at the defense, and if they give us a different look than maybe I expected in terms of percentage-wise, he can go ahead and he can get us into a better one.
Where do you think you developed your philosophy from? Who do you think is most responsible for getting you where you are in terms of philosophical approach?
Well, I think I've worked for a lot of good coaches, guys that have been winners. Offensively, I learned a lot from Charlie Weiss. That's over there at Florida. Josh and I work closely. McDaniels got some stuff from Shoddy, but at the end of the day, you have to adapt to your players. That's what I believe. When you have a running back that can do some things maybe some other running backs can't, you have to adapt to them. When you have a big receiver that can run and catch, you have to adapt to them. When you got a slot receiver that can do, you got to run, you got to adapt to them. So I think that's your challenge as a coach, is to adapt the system to the players.
What do you think we'll see from Chad on Monday night?
You know, Chad's been working hard. I think he has a good grasp of the game plan. We'll find out.
You mentioned
Brian,
the amount of touches on average you'd like Reggie to get per game. Do you have a number in that?
No, I just think as the flow of the game goes, we need to run it more. He'll get some more in the passing game. He'll get his touches in the passing game. But in terms of, we have this set amount, no.
When you think about him running between the tackles, are you concerned at all? I mean, durability has been an issue. He's missed 20 games over 4 years. Does that maybe limit you as to how many times you'd like him to run between the tackles?
I think Reggie's capable of running every run that we have in our plan.
Brian, let's talk about adapting your system to the talent. You're throwing more, or this team is throwing more than it did last year. You've got the 26th rated passer, and he had 15 touchdowns, 19 interceptions.
Got all the numbers?
I'm trying to
okay.
build a case, right? Was there any hesitance?
A few good men right now.
Right. Was there any hesitance in putting in this system with Chad Henne as the quarterback?
No.
Why not?
When you come to a new team and you sit down with the guys in the room and you put your plays in, you put them in as you think they're going to work. And if he shows you something different when you're out there on a practice field, then you go ahead and adapt. He hasn't done that.
What are his strengths?
He's done a good job. He's done a good job of operating the offense, first and foremost. There's a lot on his plate. He has a lot of things to do at the line of scrimmage, pre-snap. He has a lot of things to do after the ball is snapped in terms of reads and getting us into the right things. He is exceptional in the classroom. Taking things, you can sit down with the player and you can watch as much tape over and over and over again. And sometimes they don't always translate that to the field when it's operating fast. He's been able to do that this camp. He's seen it on the paper. He's seen it on tape. He's been able to go out and operate it on the practice field. Sometimes you don't always get that with players. So he's been able to do that with real tempo speed. I think that he's done a much better job of operating in the pocket. We've quickened up his feet, his delivery, his eye control on the defense. His accuracy has improved because of it. And he's done a nice job. Now the real bullets are going to start flying here.
Brian,
how much did Reggie's addition force you to adapt with your philosophy? You said type of players make you adapt your play calling. How much did his addition do that for you?
Well, I think that he brings some different elements, in terms of the passing game than maybe some other running backs in this league. He has unique ability as a space player, both coming out of the backfield and lining up as a receiver. So you have to create some plays where you maybe get a linebacker or safety on them and put them in a different spot, something that'll help the quarterback ID what the coverage is, and you try to use them in a variety of roles like that.
Hey,
Brian, how
for
would you
this
say
guy-
the
One here, then we gotta go.
Brian, how would you say the chemistry between Chad and Brandon is right now?
I think it's good. Those guys, we meet a lot. We meet together quite a bit. We're just with the wideouts and the receivers. Those two sit right next to each other when we watch the one-on-ones. I encourage conversation in the room. I think that you need that in terms of a receiver and a quarterback. Make sure that we're all on the same page. At the end of the day, those guys are going to end up listening to the guy throwing the ball more times than not. So you have to develop that relationship, no question about it. And they're in the meeting rooms, going through, all right, you get this leverage on this technique. Well, I'm going to attack them this way. Okay, this is the way I see it. Now, we're going to get this roll coverage over here. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to slip inside. You see it? Yeah, well, I didn't see it that way. I saw it like this. And there's a lot of conversation in that room, which is good. It's not just Brandon. I think he does a good job with Devon and Brian and those younger guys, Roberto and Marlon, and Gates is coming along. He's done a good job. Sometimes I'll leave the room for 10 minutes and say, you got him. Take him. Go through the one-on-ones. Make sure you guys see it the same way. You got any questions, bring it back to me. We'll talk about it. But in terms of developing chemistry, I think it's important both, in the classroom when you're looking at stuff, and then most importantly on the field.
Ben Bowen, last one.
As you prepare for this game, how much do you draw on your game plan last year when you were with the Cleveland Browns? And do you feel like you have an advantage knowing Belichick so well?
Well, I think, the first game is a unique game when the regular season starts. There's a lot of unknowns, whether you're in a new position or not. There's a lot of unknowns. What they show on tape. You take all the preseason stuff that you did during the year, which we all know we had plenty of time as a staff to sit around and watch tape. And so you look at all those games that they played last year, and then you look at all the preseason games, and now you got a pile of, it's just a ton of crap. Okay, then you have to sit down and decide, all right, is he going to show this? Is he going to do this? Whether you work for another coach or not, it's the first game of the year, and I really don't think that many people have an idea what Bill's going to do. He's a tremendous coach. They have a tremendous team. It will be a big challenge for us. So we still got a few more days of preparation here to get ready for him.
Okay, guys, we're gonna bring Coach Nolan in.